Are you thinking of moving to Toronto? Maybe it's because you've heard about Toronto's lively downtown, world-class dining, and a skyline that feels alive with opportunity. With its booming job market, cultural diversity, and endless things to do, it's no wonder so many people dream of living here.
A new global housing report has a frank description for two of Canada's biggest cities.
It is being called an historic snowstorm.
The trek around Toronto is the worst in the country.
But could moving to Toronto be a mistake? For many, the dream of Toronto quickly fades into regret. What starts as an excitement often turns into frustration, challenges they never saw coming, leaving them questioning if their move was even worth it. The full picture of life in Toronto isn't what they expected, so stick around. I'm about to reveal the harsh realities most people wish they'd known before making the move. And that first reality is that 97.2% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. It hurts. This channel is all about Canadian real estate. And if you like that and you want to stay updated, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. First up is Toronto's work-life balance. Toronto is Canada's economic powerhouse, home to the financial district. We got tech hubs and countless multinational corporations. While this does foster immense career opportunities, it also comes with a relentless work culture that's just not for everyone. In a city where long work hours are the norm, work-life balance becomes a challenging goal to achieve. Many people spend over an hour each way traveling to and from work, leaving little room for family time or hobbies or just straight up relaxation. The city's work hard, play hard mentality takes over once the workday is ended. Social events, networking opportunities, side hustles, they all just quickly fill up any free time you have. And it's easy to feel left behind if you're just not constantly grinding to stay ahead. The pressure to keep up with the city's fast pace combined with the high cost of living can easily lead to burnout. And like, don't get me wrong, Toronto does offer lots of gyms, wellness programs. Finding time or the energy to enjoy them just becomes a challenge for those who are already stretched so thin. Even those who live close to work often feel the weight of the city's relentless pace, right? And for those coming from smaller cities like Calgary, the contrast can be quite striking. Calgary tends to emphasize a more balanced lifestyle with a stronger community and just family life altogether. And then we have Vancouver, although it's similar in some ways, offers different culture with outdoor activities to help people decompress. In Toronto, however, the fast pace leaves little room for rest, and this constant cycle of just working and the social demands can eventually lead to regret for those who are just seeking a slower, more balanced lifestyle. Then we have cost of living, which, surprise, but not really. Toronto is one of the most expensive cities within Canada. It's no joke. A one-bedroom apartment in downtown typically will cost you anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 a month. While even in outer neighborhoods, you're looking at like $1,800 or more a month. And then if you have a family and you're looking for, a 4-bedroom unit, you can expect to pay upwards of $4,000 a month for downtown, or at least $3,000 a month out in the suburbs. But as we all know, housing isn't the only issue. We have eating out, groceries, transportation, even basic entertainment comes at a premium. A night out at a mid-range restaurant can cost anywhere from $30 to $50 a person. And groceries for a single person can often exceed $800 a month. And then if you want to park downtown for work or for whatever it may be, that's another $200 plus a month for just a spot. And then when you compare it to like a city like Calgary, it's much more affordable lifestyle. A 1-bedroom apartment ranges anywhere from $1,500 for downtown, and a detached house can be purchased for under $500,000. In Vancouver, well, it's not much better than Toronto. It's just that people justify living in Vancouver because you have the scenery, because you have the outdoor lifestyle. If you're moving to Toronto, just ensure that your salary aligns with the high cost of living here. Otherwise, you might find yourself struggling financially. Then we have the pressures of the housing market, and it's not just expensive, it's also very competitive. It's not so crazy that renters are facing bidding wars anymore, though it's usually hard to find reasonably priced units that have landlords who are understanding. But like everywhere, landlords are asking more and more money, which just makes it harder for the renters. And then what about buyers? Well, you're entering into a market where a detached home averages around $1.5 million. And even condos can exceed $700,000 $700,000. Then Toronto's older housing stock adds another challenge. Many homes, especially in the neighborhoods like Parksdale or Kingston Market, are charming, but they just require significant renovations. Yes, condo living may be more modern, but the trade-off is smaller spaces, where it's not uncommon for it to be 500 square feet or less. And again, when we compare it to Calgary, where housing is much more affordable and spacious, detached homes with yards are within reach for many families. And Vancouver is similar to Toronto, where it's just going to be challenging to find something that meets your budget and your criteria. So if you are dreaming of homeownership in Toronto, just be prepared for the compromises, less space, older homes, and higher costs than you might have anticipated. And I'm sure this next one won't surprise you, but it's just transit troubles. Nothing worse than just sitting in traffic. I just can't stand it. Toronto's transit system, or the TTC, which is Toronto's Transit Commission, it serves millions of people a day, but it's not without its flaws. Delayed streetcars, overcrowded subways, and aging infrastructure can make commuting a daily headache. You can expect to pay $3.35 for a single trip, and a monthly pass is going to run you $156. Kind of pricey, especially when the reliability just isn't guaranteed. Adding to the frustration are the construction projects that just seem to be never ending, such as the delayed Eglinton Crosstown LRT, which was projected to be done in 2020. And to make matters worse, it's billions over budget and there's still no expected completion date. And the cherry on top that makes you want to scream to the top of your lungs, rip your steering wheel off, is that you could spend hours in traffic only to move a couple kilometers, especially during rush hour. If you own a car, things aren't much better. Parking is scarce, expensive, and Toronto's notorious traffic jams will test your patience. Though Vancouver does have a SkyTrain, which is fast and more reliable, it doesn't cover as much ground. And then Calgary has the C-Train, which is pretty efficient and free for the downtown core, which is not a bad perk. So Toronto's transit does work for some, obviously, but if you're coming from a city where they have better infrastructure, just be prepared for the adjustment. Then we have the climate. Toronto's weather is all about the extremes, and for many, it's one of the most challenging aspects of living here. With winter, it's anywhere from mid to late November, all the way to March. Temperatures frequently dip below freezing, and with wind chill, it even makes it feel colder. Snowstorms are common, which leave the roads and just walkways icy and difficult to manage. And then public transit just becomes unreliable during these heavy snowfalls, and then driving in these conditions, it really is no picnic. And then as for summer, when the snow does melt, it brings its own set of challenges. Toronto's summers are hot and humid, while temperatures average anywhere from 27 degrees Celsius in July. And then if you factor in the humidity, the temperatures often rise above 35 degrees Celsius. And then without air conditioning, which not all these homes have, you find it pretty hard to stay comfortable during the heat waves. Then again, when we compare it to Vancouver's winters, which are rainy but mild, and then summers, they are warm, but it's rarely that humid there. It often has a more balanced climate. Calgary's winters, they are cold, but they are drier, and then when you have the Chinooks that come through, they provide a little bit of relief. Overall, Toronto's unpredictable weather can make outdoor activities or just commuting a challenge, leaving many longing for cities with more temperate climates. Now we're going to talk about the limited green space in Toronto. Don't get me wrong, like, Toronto's parks are beautiful, but the city is often criticized for just lacking sufficient green spaces, especially for its size. We got High Street, Trinity Bellwood, and Toronto's Islands, which are popular destinations, and they're amazing, but they can feel overcrowded. And trying to find a quiet, natural retreat within the city is just no easy task. And then we have these urban sprawls that just compounds this issue. As the city expands and green spaces often get replaced by new developments, unfortunately, many residents are required to drive way out of the city just to access more serene natural escapes. But not everybody has the time or the resources to do that regularly. With Vancouver, there's Stanley Park offers a vast amount of trails, and it's hard to ignore how close any beach, park, or mountain is to the city. And so what I will say is that the easy access to nature is on your top priority. Toronto's limited green space might leave you longing for the greener pastures of other cities. Look, Toronto isn't for everyone. And while it does offer incredible opportunities, the challenges can weigh heavily on people who decide to move here. And now you're thinking, maybe Vancouver or Calgary might better suit your needs. All I would say is before you pack your suitcase, you're going to want to watch these two videos here first. And so while you watch those videos, I'm going to go fly some drones.